Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to this new video. I know that I've been doing some research for quite a while now, discussing about the transaction of this wallet basically, and I've come here now to tell you guys more about what I learned about this profitable wallet and many other profitable wallets on the Solana blockchain, and how you can do to be profitable on chain. So first, I want to thank all the people that start my repo that followed me on different social media platforms. Thank you also for those that purchased the P&L. And so this has been one of the interesting things that I've worked on for a while because I had to discover many layers on how Solana transactions are actually being sent on chain. So first, what I realized is something was very peculiar with this wallet transaction in that the buy period is always within 5 seconds. And that is very strange in regard to Solana because when you are listening to new polls, and for my methodology, which they are different methods, what I do is that I'm listening to transaction involving the region pool V4 program ID, and then in the log, in the transaction log, the moment I listen to, or the moment the word initialized to is found, then I know that it's a transaction that the pool is being created. So if I'm listening to the transaction in the confirm state, then I'm getting the transaction 1 second after the pool is created. So the idea of seeing people buying 0 seconds and consistently, it got me really questioning a lot, and I got to dig deeper into this, and I figured it out. I figured out why, and then I will discuss more about this with you guys. So first, let's talk about sending transaction on Solana. You see, this is one type of transaction in that there is a Rapsol native account, which is not necessarily a Rapsol account which is created, and then you are buying with that account, then it is closed. So this type of transaction is not really fast. Ideally, what you want is that you trade directly only from your Rapsol token account. And in this example, they are not trading directly with the Rapsol token account. So let me take, for example, one of my wallets to explain this. So ideally, you want your Rapsol token account, and then you will want to be able to trade with your Rapsol token account. Also, I learned a lot about Jito bundles because you will need to bundle your transactions when you're sending your transactions on chain. So all these constitute how your transaction should be. So for example, for this transaction, as you can see with my wallet, I'm buying directly from my Rapsol token account, which is, if you guys click here, this is my Rapsol token account. And if I open this page, it is initialized. This is my Rapsol token account. So I'm buying directly from this Rapsol. And you see within the same transaction, I'm tipping with Jito, but I can also choose to tip with Jito from another wallet or from a different transaction that you don't even see here. So you can see, for example, a transaction and then you don't see the Jito tip. Does not mean that he didn't tip with Jito. Simply mean that maybe another address is taking care of the Jito tips. So at the end of the day, my analysis, my assumptions was that if I was able to bundle my transaction with buys and sells, then was supposed to be replicating the same results. But behold, in application, even with the G2 bundles, my transactions landing are not optimally controlled because for each epoch that a block has to be added on the blockchain, I have to wait that the validator should be a Jito validator or a Jito compatible validator. But then there can be a lack of 30 seconds. So these results were kind of very astounding to me when in my application process before there is something that I realized that I'm going to discuss later in this video. So that it's something very important that you should keep in mind when you are copy trading. It's not all about a wallet being profitable, but there's also that issue of knowing what type of a wallet it is. Very, very important. So let me go straight to the point with my implementation that I did to give you an idea. Let's go to processes. Let's go. Let me go to my own wallet. As you can see, uh, I was listening to new polls. All my buys and sells were bundled with G2. So I'm buying and I'm selling within a minute. So these are my results, barely 44%. And I was not in profit. I was basically in losses. Though I could get a varying amount of win percentage in certain transactions, but there was never a 0 second. There was never a 1 second, even if I'm getting the pull information exactly 1 second after I see it on chain. There was never this. So you realize that by seeing these results in terms of the buying time, because you have to understand that what determines that you are profitable is that you have to get very, very early on in the transaction. And as you see that in this case, about 6 seconds after the poll was launched, and then I saw really 20 seconds after, and this is the margin of profit that I got out of 11%, which is tantamount to this amount, considering the amount that I was investing with. But you see that because the transactions were asynchronous and one was not depending on the other, so by reversing engineer and implementing the exact strategy or the presumed strategy that I thought that these wallets were doing, I realized that I have come in contact with a, I don't know the word to use, should I call it a gang of insiders on Solana? Because when you see 0 seconds, it means that this person bought the exact second that the liquidity pool was created. And the only explanation to this is that they bundle their buy with the liquidity pool creation. And the only person that can do this is the person that created the token. So my thesis on this is that these wallets are creating tokens in varying amounts every day from different with different addresses. And an example is that, for example, someone can create a token with a liquidity pool of 3 Solana or 5 Solana, and then he bundles the buy. And the first buy that he's buying with 5 Solanas. So you can imagine the quantity of the tokens that he will have and how much it will be worth as many snipers will be coming after later on and buying those same tokens, and then he will be selling. So that's the profitable strategy. It's not as if they have a magic one or a secret technique that they are doing to be profitable. The only reason that they are profitable is because they launch tokens and then they sell on people that come and buy later on because they are buying the tokens that they are launching. So this is what I discovered. I was very disappointed in realizing this. But yeah, and the only reason why I could realize this is because I was studying the data. So I will give you an example so that we can see this together. So this is this specific token, ROSE. So let's take the pay address and let's figure out when the pool was created. So what we're interested here is the block number. Okay. You see here was started with 5 Sol. And now let's see his transaction. When did he buy? Because this is 0 seconds. So you realize that the block of his transaction and the block of where the liquidity pool was created is the same. And not only is the same in terms of block, it's the same in terms of time. Now this is impossible unless this was bundled together. But then the thing with Solana is that you cannot know within a transaction hash specifically that it was bundled. When you're looking at it simply like this, you cannot know that a buy was bundled. And then when you go on the screener, if you will show to the top, traders, most of the times you will see that the incriminating wallet or the insider wallet is always at the top. So in regards to FJR, I know that he has switched his wallet, and then this is his new wallet. It was easy to find a new wallet on chain because I already knew which lookup tables he was using, and also I knew his system of operation in terms of how the tokens were launched, from which lookup tables the token was launched, from which lookup table he was buying. And you see, for example, with this wallet, the profit here is like in 90 days, you see 275,000. And when we're talking 90 days, we're talking from the 4th of April to the 28th of May. He only lost 7,000. But I think that this 7,000 is even flawed, because when you look at this, it's impossible that he lost 100% on the token that he himself launched. So perhaps I ran the P&L when he did not even yet sell. And that is why the result got like this. So if I open it up, I'm definitely sure that he sold. So he's nearly all time profitable. And if you look detailedly at the losses, they are very minimal in terms of, if you focus on the percentages, most of the times not even up to 50%, 20, 10, you know. But the interesting factor here is that you can see that most buys here are occurring between zeros to 5 seconds. Now, you will ask me, why is it that sometimes he loses in the tokens that he buys? My theory on this is that he's buying from multiple accounts. He has so what I think is that some of those accounts can be profitable when he's selling, and that will affect the price point in another account. So if you are copy trading in Solana and you are copy trading, this information is crucial, because there is no way that you can replicate this amount of profit. And the simple reason that you cannot replicate this amount of profit is because you cannot be on the same block like him when he's buying, because he's in the first block, because he's the one that's creating the token. So this is an important information. So if you ask me that what is the strategy of this specific wallet, I would say that, see, if you want to have to or replicate this resource, the thing that you have to do, and I think that that's what most people are doing now on Solana, that's why I say it's kind of like very shitty, is that they create tokens and bundle with buys, and then they own more or a high amount of those tokens. And it does not mean that the tokens launched this, they are necessarily not really scams. So when snipers are coming to buy, or other Telegram bots are automatically buying these tokens because they have analyzed it like, in quote, not a scam token, then these developers are making money. So let's do an in-depth analysis so that you can see for yourself. So yes, also for those that are interested, that have been querying me about the P&L subscription model, it's coming soon. So you will have access to Telegram, and then you'll be able to have the premium P&L version of Solana wallets, Base wallets, Ethereum wallets, and BSC wallets. Also, you'll be able to have the most profitable wallets on chain for the day, for the week. So yes, let's focus on this. Let's say I want to focus on this, that he made 255%. Let's go for this zero transaction. And let's cover this. Okay, you see the token is still live. It's not a scam. So it's still live. And now you will see that he bought here, and that is what he made. But this buy is the same buy, on the same block that the liquidity was created. So to prove again this point, I open this on a new tab. I take the pay address just to go and find out when the liquidity pool was created for this specific token. So yes, you see the liquidity pool was created with 5 SOL, and he bought with 3 SOL. Now take a look at how much token he got. Take a look at the block. It's the same thing. Take a look at the total tokens that were available when the liquidity pool was created. So you understand that you cannot match up with these guys. You can copy trade him, and certainly you can be profitable, but you cannot match up his margins of profit. And an interesting fact I realized is that this lookup table, most this developer they are using this lookup table, this specific lookup table, and for his buy transaction, there was no specific lookup table that he was using, but I think that this is the new one that he's using. Also on chain, if you wanna see any, if you want to be able to say, okay, I don't want to buy tokens that are created by using this lookup table is found, you can still do it, you know. So let's go to another transaction just so that you can see the pattern, because the question that I was asking myself is that 100 tokens can launch every day, but these people they buy only a specific number of tokens, and I always wondered why. And I thought that it has something to do with the token metrics, or it has something to do with the liquidity. It was very far from my thinking to think that they were creating those tokens, buying those tokens, and then selling off on unsuspecting users. So that is how people are able to make 100K a month, 200K a month, or 300K a month. It's because there is a certainty in that those profits will be made because they are the ones in control of the tokens. That's something that you should always keep in mind, because the idea, the naive trader, once he's going into the market and say he wants to copy trade, he assumes that this wallet is profitable, that they are really, really good, but they might not be really, really good because they are actually the ones launching those tokens and doing all those. So I will open again a random transaction. Most of these transactions are zero. This is impossible in normal terms. If we're talking about EVM chains, for example, in Ethereum, then you can have this result like barely seconds, because you will be able to listen to the transaction when it's still in the processing state. But in Solana, there is no mempool. So there is no listening to a transaction in the processing state. You just listen to it when it's already added. You can only listen to it like it's a kind of like you can listen to it when it's still in the confirmed state before it's finally confirmed. But in Ethereum or EVM compatible chains, you can listen to the transaction when it's still in the processing state, not yet even added on the blockchain. And in Solana, you either have the process state, which is like the transaction is just processing. The confirmed state, the transaction has been confirmed and will be added. The finalized state, the transaction has finally been added on the blockchain. So you realize that for someone to have this the metrics in terms of buy period, it is something to be in awe about. So let's take this transaction, and you will see it's the same pattern again and again and again and again. And if you go to the top traders all the time, you see that it's probably the one that's the top trader. If you go, for example, to this, all the time, they are the ones down top, all the time. And if you want to know, for example, who are the insider wallets, then simply go on the block where the liquidity pool was added and see all the buys that occurred for that specific token. Then you will know all the wallets that he's using to trade this particular token. Easy as that. Uh, what I wanted to show you, just for a lax example that I wanted you to see is this. Okay, I see that there was no lookup table that was used uh, for this specific pool, but most of the transactions use up the same lookup table. Let's see another one. You know what? We are opening the same one. See this? Am I crazy, or it's the same token with different names? See, XAD, it's the same token. Let's open. Let's open a different one. So let's go here. bet you top trader, you're gonna see, okay, he's not the top trader. Oh, interesting. Let's go here. You see the same lookup table, and if we go for the transaction that he did, uh, let me think I will open it. I can find his address here for M4M. Okay, this is it. We go for when the pool was created on 7996, 7997. Okay, not on the same block, but the same lookup table. And even one block after, it's impossible. you know. And the only reason that I can tell that the transaction was confirmed a block later is because he's probably bundling with many transactions, and then because he's bundling with many transactions, some will be added on a specific block, and others will be added on another block. But they are all the blocks that the Jito bundle is the one validating at that specific point in time. So yes, this was to discuss my findings in terms of what is FRG strategy. So there is no strategy. It's simply people that create tokens and that they bundle the initial buys for those tokens, like really low liquidity for the token, 3 Solanas, 5 Solanas, and then they buy with like three. They have like half of the token amounts, like a really high quantity of the token amount of the tokens, and then they launch the token with good metrics, and then unsuspecting snipers come and buy, unsuspecting users come and buy, and then they sell off those users and they make a profit. And that's how daily they can make 10K, daily they can make 15K, daily they can make 4K, 5K, 12K, it depends. So that is how they do it. So that's what I wanted to talk about. So there is no special strategy here. There is no special anything here. So that's what you have to know. So if I was to say that the question that you were to ask is that, okay, how can I tell that a wallet is really like is not an insider and I want to copy him? Then you have to this is the information that should matter. What is the buy period of the wallet? It's crucial that you know that what is the buy period. If he's not an insider and he perhaps just buy good tokens, then he buy his buy period shouldn't look like this. Shouldn't be in seconds. Could be in minutes, but shouldn't be in seconds anyway. So yes, that was is it for today. In my next video, I will be discussing about the crypto trading services that I offer, and an example of how you could have your own copy trade bot hosted on the cloud, and how you could profit from it from having information of the PNL of an address, and then you automate the whole process of you copying the wallet, which is in my opinion safer and cheaper than using Telegram bots. So yes, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you loved it, like, subscribe, and share. See you next time. Bye.